The European Union and member states need to address together important labour market challenges. For example, there are growing skills shortages across Europe. We need to improve the functioning of our labour markets. We need to improve the sustainability of our social protection systems. This is why Business Europe is calling for a partnership for reforms. And we think social partners, member states' governments and the European Commission should work together to improve labour market outcomes.
For ETUC, it is very important that the social partners are involved properly at the economic governance and at the European semester. For us, the involvement means that it's run at the appropriate level, that it's meaningful, and that it is run in a timely manner. Especially with the proclamation of the European Pillar of Social Rights, this is utmost importance.
In Latvia, we attract a lot of attention to European semester cycle. Regarding involvement of social partners into this process, social partners are not just mere organizations, and they are biggest economy players in the society. And therefore, without their practical involvement and without evidence that they bring to the table, semester cycle is merely a theoretical discussion which brings no added value.
We at the Confederation of Finnish Industries think that the Commission has been quite successful in pointing out where reforms are needed. But in order to implement those reforms, you have to involve the social partners who have the best knowledge about the labour markets and the social situation.
When you have recommendations affecting your pensions, your early retirement schemes, or the framework under which the wages are negotiated, the least you can ask is to have the social partners on board, especially when the affected policies are the result of long negotiated and hardly found consensus between the social partners. So more needs to be done to involve the social partners properly, and proper involvement does not mean ex post endorsement.
SMEs, which represent 99% of companies in Europe, are confronted with specific difficulties related to labour market, in particular labour shortages and rigid and complex legislation. According to UAPLE, one of the best ways to tackle it is really to involve SME organizations in the European semester process at European and national level. This is the best way to facilitate ownership and acceptance of reforms on the labour market, which are necessary for growth and jobs.
The ETUC wants to have a strategic consultation at the milestones of the European semester at the national and European level. Trade unions should be given enough time to analyze and elaborate Commission's and government's documents and to put forward their counter proposals. And the consultation should be held in a timely manner. Trade unions should also be given full access to governments and Commission documents in order to have a fully informed positions.
Speaking on behalf of public services employers in Europe, we consider that the European semester is now the place where member states operate the coordination of the reform process. We thought as social partners to have a key role in this process. And this is where we believe we can influence key policies for membership, such as skill mismatch, recruitment of young workers, demographic aging consequences, and of course public investment, and representing therefore public services employees' opinions across Europe.
So the European semester must become more participatory and democratic. This is something we need in a moment where social Europe is at the core of European policies. And national trade unions and the European trade unions are ready to take this challenge. We need a semester that gives voice to the needs of workers and improves their lives and their working conditions and rights. We need to restore social Europe, and of course, we will contribute to this.
For CIP, the Confederation of Portuguese Business, one of the major challenges that we face regards the need to reform the educational and vocational training system in order to respond to labor market needs, in other words, to the needs of the companies. And this reform should take into account not only the digitalization of the markets, but also take it into account that there is a large proportion of the Portuguese population that doesn't have the necessary qualifications, but mainly the necessary skills for the labor market. In this context, it's our understanding that the European semester has a very important role to play in order to highlight the need and also in order to promote the necessary reforms to the education and vocational training system.
We want to be involved as trade unions in the European semester in order to make the entire process more social. It means that the output of the process should be more social, with the policies that can actually have a positive impact on life of workers and European citizens. Today we have a new opportunity, which is the European Pillar of Social Rights. With its 20 principles, the European semester has a compass to design policies that can effectively achieve this social dimension of the semester. And our involvement should ensure that the way through this social involvement can materialize quickly and effectively.
The European semester plays a very important role in the development, in the economical development of the small and medium-sized enterprises in Europe. The European Commission presented the results, the country report for Poland. They underlined the very good general economical development in Poland. For example, a good increase by 4.6% of GDP in Poland, but they underlined some low aspects, as a low investments rate by the Polish small enterprises and the low investments in the innovation solution. In our opinion, the Polish decision maker, the Polish government side, should take into account the results of the European semester in order to make the policy much more better than in the current time.